Going once, going twice, sold. Hello, Kiss Army, and welcome to the 92nd episode of the Kiss Army Things podcast. You're with Xander.
And Daphne.
Well, it looks like the rumors are true, which we kind of knew them to be true. We knew that Kiss was in the middle of selling the brand, but now it is official. The brand has now been sold to Pop House Entertainment. And so this is a really, really big moment in Kiss history. This
Huge.
has never happened. And it's kind of old news at this point, even though it's only been a week or two.
Yeah.
But we wanted to kind of let everybody, get their emotions out, and then we would come in and, try and level-headedly look at this and approach this and just kind of sift through this information. We're going to be using the Mike Run Experience episode with Doc McGee as our basis. That's what kind of made me think, okay, we need to do an episode about them selling the brand.
Yeah.
And then right before we started filming, it was made official that the brand had been sold. And so I thought, okay, well, let's just, take a week or two. We'll ponder this. We'll let this sink in, and then we'll get to it. So, Daphne, it's nice to have you back on the show. It's been a few weeks since you've been on.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a minute.
And we had, Jeb's been on, and then we had Joey from Podcast Rock City.
Yes.
Of course, he was drumming on Ace's new album, so we had him on the show. Thanks again, Joey. So lots of cool episodes happening, but it's nice to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
And,
glad to be back.
Thank you so much for wanting to talk to me about this huge topic. Are we doing a Kiss Spotlight this week? Do we have a Kiss Spotlight?
I have a Kiss Spotlight.
You have
I
a
don't
Kiss
know about
Spotlight?
you.
Okay, great. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw it over to you. You can tell us what you've been jamming to and what Kiss you've been rocking out to.
This is going to be a surprise to none of you that have seen previous episodes of this show, but I just can't stay away from it.
I know your Spotlight.
My Spotlight is The Elder.
Okay.
Music from The Elder.
You were humming a little bit
I
of it.
I was.
Okay, for sure.
I can't get enough. There's something about that album. I know. There's nothing I could say about it that I haven't already said that I don't also want to save for a future episode that might be focused on The Elder.
Oh, yes.
Just
There
a
will
little
be
teaser
an
there.
Elder breakdown episode.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
a deep dive. So I don't want to say too much, and I've already said so much, but I just love it. It takes me on a journey. Only You is my current favorite.
That was the one that you were humming earlier,
Yes.
and I was like, okay, for sure.
Gosh, it's just such a good storytelling song, and the back and forth vocals between Paul and Gene are just magnificent. I love it so much, and I can't get enough.
Only You and Under the Rose are two of the best back-to-back Kiss songs ever.
Yes.
But so what is it about The Elder that keeps you coming back to it? Because I feel like The Elder is the album that you may have spotlit the most. So
I think it probably is.
What
at this
is
point.
it about The Elder that just has you keep coming back for more?
It just takes me to another world, and in a way that no other Kiss album does. I mean, they all do in their own way, but
This one literally
does. And I mean, you guys probably remember, I'm a huge musical theater person as well, and so just the story behind it, I really grasp onto, and I think it's really well done. And I can see it, I can visualize the world in my head as I'm listening to it. You know what I mean? And it just has such an atmosphere to it. I don't know.
That's cool.
It's so good. I love it.
I love The Elder too, and I can't wait until I think we're going to try this November to see if we can do a deep dive into The Elder. So The Elder is your Kiss Spotlight. My Kiss Spotlight, I have too many Kiss Spotlights. I have listened to so much Kiss. I know right now in my car I've got Sonic Boom and Kiss Classics. That's been in my car for a hot minute. Still is. Before that, it was Kiss Unmasked. Was listening to some Kiss Classic 78 recently as well. Yeah. In your car. And then before that was 10,000 Volts and Psycho Circus.
Yes, 10,000 Volts was heavy. I'm surprised you're listening to anything else now, because it took a minute for you to switch off of that album after it came out.
When it came out, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to listen to this album.
You went all in.
Until I don't want to listen to it anymore. It's not that I don't, it's just that I decided to, again,
it was time to
switch
listen to something else, yeah.
And, because I was listening to 10,000 Volts and Psycho Circus, and then switched to Kiss Unmasked. And then went to Sonic Boom and Kiss Classic. So who knows where I'll go next, but I've just been all over the board as far as Kiss music goes. But let's go ahead and just get to the big topic now, because obviously this is what Kiss fans are talking about a lot right now, and so I want to make sure that we get our thoughts in as well. And so you watched the episode as well, right?
I did, yes.
The Mike Run Experience, okay, for sure. So that's awesome. So we're both going to be tackling this together. You guys join in along in the comments as well. Let's try and be respectful and mature. Let's tackle this for what it is and just look at this logically and reasonably. And so if I were just to start off again, I mean, I was already going to do an episode about this once I saw that interview with Doc.
Yeah, because we already knew it was happening, and then he confirmed that it was actively happening, even though it wasn't official yet.
This episode was going to be called Doc McGee Speaks.
Yeah.
Now it's just called Kiss Has Been Sold.
Right.
Because it's changed.
It's official.
Yeah, it's official now. But yes, in that interview, he had mentioned that they were selling the brand.
Yeah.
And that they were actually right in the middle of
yeah.
negotiations, and they already had chosen someone, which to a lot of fans look, oh, whoa, they've chosen someone? I don't think it was... I mean, it was pretty obvious that they were going with Pop House. I don't know... I mean, even before... Like, I mean, I was kind of thinking for fun, like, oh man, wouldn't it suck if Disney got a hold of it? Because they just absorb everything.
Well, and
but once... I realized, or once we all found out that Pop House is doing the avatars,
it made sense. Yeah,
it made sense that Pop House was going to be the one. It's just that they didn't name it outright at first.
And Disney was somewhat of a logical conclusion as well because of the tie-in with Lucasfilms being part of the Avatar thing. I know that's kind of something you mentioned at one point. I don't know if I ever fully believed that they were going to do that, and it's a relief to me that they did.
Yes, it's a big relief that Disney did not get a hold of this.
Yeah, no, I'm overall pleased with who they chose.
Yeah.
And the way that they seem to be going about it, at least in the way Doc was talking about it.
Yeah, I was, at first a little worried that Disney may absorb yet another property.
Yeah.
But once I kind of started realizing that, Pop House is the one that started the avatars, and they're the one that's going to be kind of curating this whole Kiss experience, I was like, well, what if they just absorb the whole thing? So now that we know, I will honestly say it's like a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Because we're now no longer in this in-between phase. Will they, won't they, are they not?
Yeah.
Who... So, I mean, we now at least have clarity.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing. So, I was happy to see that it was Pop House. I think that the fact that it's a non-American company and that it's a Swedish company, gives me hope a little bit. You know?
And I believe the company started by one of the actual guys from ABBA.
It was co-founded, yes.
Yeah, so that's cool as well to know that it has its roots in the music industry and was obviously responsible for the hugely successful ABBA Avatar situation thing that they did, the ABBA Voyage.
Yeah.
I also think it's a sigh of relief. When I saw that, I was like, that makes sense, and I feel like will be a positive thing. And the way Doc was talking in that interview, he's describing it more as like a partnership. They're not just giving it all over, no control. Right. They're still heavily involved from what he was implying.
That's what he implied.
Yeah.
I wonder how involved they actually are or will be. Because he did say that, they were looking for collaborators. He said... The words that he said were partners and connections. Mm-hmm. We're looking for partners and connections to elevate and to stay relevant and go to the next level. So if anybody's wondering why they would do this, boom, there you go. Doc McGee, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, they want to see Kiss continue, not just continue on in some way, they want it to continue on in a big way.
Continue growing.
A big way, bigger than anything anybody ever could have imagined, even Gene and Paul.
Yeah.
And I think Pop House, given what they've done so far with ABBA, and then I think they also own, is it Madonna's catalog or Cyndi Lauper or one of those big pop stars, like 80s pop stars. They own their catalog as well. So it seems like they're in the business of, yes, it does sound, it sounds kind of like shady or unfortunate, but it sounds like they are trying to amass as much as they can in order to obviously make money, but keep this machine going and keep this entertainment going in a way that's going to be viable for the future.
Yeah.
Gene and Paul have done an amazing job over the last 50 years, but even they realize that their time is coming to an end and it's time to hand it off to somebody else. I'm honestly surprised I'm this okay with it.
Yeah, me too.
Because I feel like if 10 years ago, if I had looked into the future and to a crystal ball and saw Gene and Paul shaking someone's hands, signing everything over, I probably would have just lost my mind right then and there. But, when I think about Gene and Paul coming to a point in their life where they're wanting to retire and they're wanting to think about the next step, I'm honestly proud of them.
Yeah.
Proud that not only are they in a position to do this, but the fact that they're allowing themselves to, because I figured they would be the kind that's like too prideful, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna be in Kiss on stage until we die, and this is our. But they're big enough to say no. Our time, you know, being on stage has come to an end.
Yeah.
Our time being in control has come to an end. As long as there are other people that are willing to take this and nurture this, you know, who knows how far Kiss will go.
And they believe in Kiss as an entity enough to kind of set it free in a way. And obviously, hopefully they will still be involved at least for a little while in decisions, but they know that it can go further than them. And they've been saying that for years. I feel like a lot of things that Gene and Paul have said, as well as just the rumors over the past couple of years about the brand being sold at some point, have kind of eased us into this. And I think that's why we're so okay with it, because it wasn't like abrupt. You know what I mean? Like, we've had hints of this for a long time, and especially over the last year or so. I mean, as we've come to the end of the road.
We did a whole episode about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think having those rumors started early, and certain things that Gene and Paul have said over the years have really eased us into the idea. But something I also like about it is that we're talking about, you know, them growing and expanding past where they are. And Doc was even saying there's only so much that he and his team can do, because his team has been doing everything. All of the off the soundboard, box sets, all that stuff. And he's saying, like, they have a way bigger team at Pop House, way more people that can work on this stuff and do bigger stuff.
They're probably younger. They probably have more ideas, fresh ideas.
Yes. And Mike asked him, does that mean we're going to get more box sets off the soundboards, things like that?
And what did Doc say?
Yes.
He said, duh, that's the whole point.
Of course.
He said, why would there not be?
See, that's
the whole point of this.
That was another sigh of relief for me, because I think a lot of people, you know, when last year, when all of that kind of stopped, while obviously negotiations were happening and things like that, I think that made a lot of Kiss fans fear that selling the brand would make all of that stop, and that they would focus on other things like, you know, movies, cartoons, stuff like that, than the music. But I'm really happy to see that that's not the case, and that they are going to be doing stuff like that again, hopefully bigger and better than we've even seen. That's what I'm excited to see.
That was my takeaway, because of course Mike obviously asked, you know, when and what, and yeah, we are going to get more boxes, we're going to get more soundboards, we're going to get more of everything, and it's going to be even better than what we already got. Yeah. And I think that's the whole point.
Right.
You know, Gene and Paul are no longer going to be, you know, going back and forth negotiations, doing all of this, you know, negotiations and all the business stuff. You know, they've been doing that this whole time. Somebody else is going to take over that. And that's a good thing. Yes. You know what I mean? Let Gene and Paul just live their lives.
Yes.
They have done more than any fan could ever possibly imagine.
Yes.
Not just on stage, but off stage, behind the scenes, the business.
Yeah.
All that grueling paperwork and, you know, all that just...
And that's hard work, and it's draining.
It's draining and exhausting. I'm surprised they lasted as long as they did, given the fact that they did not have to at all.
Yeah, and they honestly, at this point in their lives, they deserve to let all of that go and give that responsibility to somebody else and live their lives and, like, be creative again. Like, I almost feel like they get to go, like, back to basics.
I hope so.
Of being a creative person in the music industry. And, like, I mean, we know about Paul's painting, and Gene is going to be going on tour again.
Absolutely.
And Doc McGee said in the interview that Paul's going to be doing Soul Station stuff. Like, he said that.
He did say Soul Station.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was just... Yeah.
He said Paul will be doing his Soul Station stuff. And maybe he's just saying, you know, they're all going to do their own thing.
Yeah,
whatever
I think he's
it
just saying they're all going to do their own thing.
But just the fact that he mentioned that gave me hope that Soul Station might come back. And we're going to get to see them just having fun and being creative, and I am really happy to hear about that.
Me too. And I know that for a lot of fans this is hard to let go of, but I think once you try and approach it from Gene, Paul, and Doc's perspective, I think it makes like the most sense that they're doing it, especially when you think about, you know, this new team that's going to be coming in, doing things even bigger, even better. Doc confirmed more product. He said that it would be about 3 months. He said in about
he
the
did
next.
Say that, didn't he?
He said 3 months. So in the next 90 days, you can expect to see something happening.
That's crazy.
And
that's a very short amount of time.
It's funny to me how fans were saying, "Oh man, we're done. We're never getting more box sets." It's like, what? That makes no sense.
Right.
The point of selling Kiss, is to keep Kiss going,
right,
and keep Kiss moving, not to just stop.
Right.
If that was the case, they wouldn't have sold it.
It's just that someone else is in charge now. It
makes the most sense.
Why would a big company buy a massive brand like this and do nothing with it?
Just sit on it. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
That's dumb. The whole point of this is that we are going to get the best stuff that we've ever seen. Fans kept saying, yeah, these box sets are cool, but we want the first album box set, or we want this in it, we want that. People were saying, oh, off the soundboards, they're ugly packaging, they're this. They very well could change. This new team can do whatever they want, and they're going to take this. I guarantee Pop House has more resources.
Yeah,
they probably have more money. With more people, they can do more. I think fans, even though it's rightfully so, we're all a little, cautious, and we're definitely, walking on eggshells, and we're very cautious right now. I'm optimistic because the company, if they want to make good on their investment, if they want to keep Kiss going, if they want people like us to buy their product, to enjoy it, and to review it on our channels for you guys, and to enjoy and to collect, it's going to be in their best interest to do it right.
Yeah. Well, and they're, like you said, if they want to make good on their investment, they need to be making money off of us, and to make money off of us, they are going to have to be putting out products.
But it has to be good.
And
they can spend the most money on a bunch of junk, and nobody will buy it.
Right.
And that'll be their fault. And it'll be up to them to go, okay, so now we know, don't do that. We need to pivot, and we need to do this.
I wonder if there will be a whole new shipping company again. You know how that changed with Kiss Online?
Well, who's to say that change wasn't the change? Maybe there was another change, but they were going through changes on Kiss Online, so who's to say that?
But it almost seemed like it wasn't much better. You know what I mean? I hate to say that, but I feel like we got excited about a new shipping company handling things, and then people are still taking.
Things are still taking forever.
Months to
get
things to.
I don't know because it would be weird if everything was based in Sweden, because they would need to have an American.
I'm sure they have an American shipping company.
They would have to, because everything coming from Sweden would be a train wreck. I think most purchasers and buyers are from America.
Yeah.
Obviously Kiss is huge in Sweden,
yeah, they
huge
are
in
worldwide,
Canada, Australia.
but as far as density of orders, would probably be from the U.S.
Yeah, in terms of density, it's obviously America. So
Yeah.
they would be wise to keep everything. Even the box sets and things, the vinyl was pressed, I think, here in America.
Yeah.
I think, or maybe the boxes were just packaged in America. I'm not sure, but it was very much, made in America and distributed in America. So, they should definitely keep that going. But as far as specifics goes, we'll just have to wait. But I'm excited to hear Doc say, oh, of course there's going to be more product. Of course. Not even like,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. No,
yeah,
it's like
hopefully.
it's a duh.
Right.
It's a straight up 100% duh. And he's saying in the next 3 months. So hopefully by the time summer rolls around.
That's crazy to me. 3 months is going to pass in no time.
Hopefully.
That is quick. I'm excited.
Hopefully. But what I didn't also take note of, and what I was happy to hear, is that this was, of course, not just some flippant decision.
Right.
To sell the brand and to sell to Pop House. Kiss, according to Doc, had been looking for options for the last 5 years.
5 years?
He said, he said 5 years. That would be basically since the end of the road tour started.
Right.
Since the beginning of the end, they were looking for the new beginning. How poetic is that?
That is poetic.
That just came to me. But they were already thinking about the new beginning when it came to the first end.
Yeah.
And so they were looking for, Doc said, everything from the Tupac hologram at Coachella, and looking at that technology, and just looking around and seeing what was out there, and eventually they landed on Pop House with the ABBA experience, and said, okay, let's take that and Kissify.
Expand on it,
Let's take that, make it bigger, make it Kiss,
yeah,
and that could be our thing. So this was not just a flippant decision. Oh, let's just sell to some company and have them make avatars. It's like, no, how do we take the literal essence of Kiss and preserve that for indefinite? You know what I mean?
And they were obviously thinking about it for a very long time before
very long
they
time.
acted on anything.
Yes, and so obviously the avatars are going to be just one small facet of everything. A lot of people were thinking that this avatar thing is going to be like the new touring Kiss.
Right. And next thing. But it's not the only thing.
And it's not true. The touring Kiss is over.
Right.
The live band as we know it is over. This, however, will still be a full-blown Kiss concert.
Yeah.
According to Doc. He said it will be a Kiss concert. They're still going to be playing songs and playing music, but it's going to be obviously a virtual experience. It's not going to be Gene and Paul.
And they're going to be doing things that human beings would not be able to do.
Bingo. The
like
verbiage,
there's still music, but they're also like superheroes.
Yes, the verbiage he used was, we want it to be bigger and badder, more up close and personal.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what do you mean more up close and personal? Well, we know that when the demon flies, he has a cord on his back. You're not supposed to say that because it's all supposed to be part of the show. Well, the demon that we're going to see in 2027,
he won't need a cord on his back.
He's not tethered. They already said he's going to fly up into the air. Yes, but it's going to be, if what I'm hearing is correct, it's not just going to be, oh, I'm flying in the air, God of Thunder style with no cord. It's going to be to the kid who only paid $60, whose parent could only pay $60, $100 for nosebleeds.
Yeah. I'm
coming up there to see you, to point at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
Like, that technology is going to be possible where the demon can fly up into the air.
It gives me chills to think
go
about.
up to the rafters and look and see all of the people and then point to the little kid at the very, very top in the back.
Yeah.
And point to him and, oh yeah! And then, do a backflip and fly back down the stage.
Right.
Paul won't need a rope and a rig to fly out to the audience.
Right.
It's going to be... it's going to be real in that way. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Kiss, when we see them on stage, they're real, but they're not really flying. They're not really breathing fire. Right. There's tricks. So this is going to be the same thing, but inverse.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because, again, this is all about taking what we know Kiss to be and making it even better. This is going to make Kiss, the avatars will make Kiss, as we know them, look like old men.
Yeah. 100%.
Because that's what they were.
Yeah.
I love Gene and Paul, and I loved this End of the Road tour, one of the best tours I've ever seen.
Amazing.
But at 70 years old, they're not moving around like they were, even on the Freedom to Rock or the Monster tour.
Yeah, even 10 years prior.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's important that, Gene and Paul, like they said, step away when the time is right, and then you have something else come in. And for years, they always said, back 20 years ago, we'll have four young guys come in and take up the roles, and they'll be Kiss, and it'll be Kiss 2.0. And that sounded fine for a while, but I can't help but think that, what would happen if in 2024, 2025, when Kiss 2.0 goes on tour, you've got 4 20-year-olds who think they're, hot shit.
Yeah.
And the night before the tour starts, they decide to go joyriding, and they crash their vehicle. What if one of them decides to, indulge a little bit too much and has substance abuse? It's like, we're relying on humans to take over Kiss and move forward? No. I don't want that. I don't think we need to see some person come in and think they're awesome because they're the new demon, they're the new Gene and Paul, even though they didn't work 50 years for this. They were just given the keys to the castle, and they think they're going to go up on stage and be the new demon and the new Star Child. I don't see a person being put in that position doing it justice. You know what I mean?
And
I think Gene and Paul are worried about the actual essence of Kiss, the reputation of Kiss.
Yeah, well, and I think they know as well, after probably hearing fan reactions of comments like that throughout the years, they know that would not be successful. Like, I can't imagine that now. I feel like a few years ago, like, even though we weren't necessarily excited about it, we could maybe see that happening. I definitely don't know.
No.
I definitely don't know.
When I think about there being 4 people dressing up like Gene and Paul, being the demon, the Star Child, Catman, and Spaceman, that's a tribute band.
Right.
We've already seen that.
We love tribute bands.
That's fine. But this would be literally just an officially sanctioned tribute band. Right. Which, at one point in time may have sounded cool, but that is the most un-Kiss thing I've ever heard.
I think that was like small thinking.
That was such small thinking.
I feel like they got past that pretty quick. They were like, you know what, we can do way better than that if we just take our time and really think about it and really this is something that Doc talked about, let the technology evolve a little bit, because he said they've been looking at stuff since the Tupac hologram and just watching how this technology evolves throughout the years, and I mean it's evolving exponentially at this point. In 2024, anything is possible. And so I think they waited until the right time, and they're still waiting longer. We're not actually going to see this Avatar thing happen until, what is it, 2027?
Yeah, they're
allegedly?
not trying to like, you know, just put something out there and just kind of whatever.
No,
they're actually nurturing this.
And think about how much more is going to be possible in the next 3 years. Like,
well, and this is something else too that most fans don't realize, is that what we saw at the Garden, what we've seen so far,
that's not what it's going to be.
Is nothing more than a demo.
Yes.
When bands
it's
bands
a prototype.
do songs, it's a well, like when
not
bands,
the first prototype, but
when
prototype.
bands record songs, before you get the full song, the fully produced song, you get a demo. The demo usually sounds like crap.
Yeah.
It's usually, you know, just a rough idea to get the point across.
Yeah.
What we saw was a demo.
Right.
Once this track is fully, you know, produced, as it were, this thing is going to be huge. This thing is going to be bigger than anything anybody's ever imagined.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is going to be the next thing, because Kiss, even back in the 70s when people thought, oh, you know, this isn't rock and roll with the makeup and the fire and all that. And then here we are today, they're saying it's not rock and roll, doing the whole Avatar thing. You know, well, that's not Kiss. You took the makeup off. Well, now it's not Kiss because Gene and Paul are stepping away and it's going to become a digital show. It's like, Kiss is anything but rigid.
Right, but also, like, those people don't know what rock and roll means. Because, to me, there's nothing more rock and roll than doing the unexpected. And coming out of left field, being bold.
Being bold,
like,
yeah.
That is rock and roll. And this is usually how it goes. People are turned off by it at first, and people are opposed to it at first, until they see how dope it actually is, which I think is 100% going to happen, and I can't wait for it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait for it.
This is going to be one of those things where folks are like, oh, I see. Okay.
Take back everything I've been saying for the last few years.
Yes, because I think once this stuff, you know, starts happening and rolling out, everything is going to make sense.
Yeah, it's going to click.
You know, when we think about the finale at the Garden with them, you know, going away in the smoke, and, you know, Paul saying, you know, you're going to see us in all things for all time.
See you in your dreams.
See you in your dreams. And then the avatars emerge from the smoke. And, you know, who knows what they're going to do, but, like, I like the way they're doing this.
Yeah.
Again, I know most fans don't. It bothers them, but when I'm just studying this right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just studying this. I'm watching this. I believe in this.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see
We're watching
what
history
happens.
unfold right now. And I thought it was really interesting how in that interview, Doc was referring to the first 50 years.
That language was great.
And then the next 50 years.
The first 50 years of Kiss, they've been great.
Yeah.
But the next 50 years.
Right. We're looking towards the future, and that's why the last show ended the way it did. And I know it rubbed so many people the wrong way. I get it.
It was supposed to.
Your feelings are valid, but
it was supposed to rub you the wrong way.
And I think if you haven't watched that interview, I highly recommend it, that podcast interview.
Yes.
Because I think it will really clarify a lot of things if you're open to listening to it. And this is kind of random, but just on the topic of the first 50 years and the next 50 years, I don't remember who it was, but I saw somebody on Facebook earlier this week refer to what we still habitually say is the current lineup. They called it the final lineup. And I was like, whoa.
The final lineup. I like that.
I know, that is cool, but it's just crazy to me that it's
final lineup.
It's not current anymore. Like, Gene, Paul, Eric, Tommy.
Yeah, you're right.
Not current Kiss anymore.
You're right. It's the final lineup.
But the final lineup, I saw, they said it so casually, just in a sentence, like, the final lineup. And I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that way of referring to them.
The way of putting it. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. This is all crazy. I know we're talking about a lot, and I've had a bunch of thoughts that I've already forgotten, but you know, this is a big topic. We're talking about a lot here. I think it was Doc's idea, according to him. He took the blame for ending the show the way it did. Mike was asking, whose idea was it to end with the avatars and the smoke? And he's like, it was mine.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's true or not, I don't know. He could just be taking one for the team.
Yeah. But,
I mean, it does make the most sense because it's free advertising.
Yeah.
Most folks are like, well, why do they do that? Because it's free advertising, number one. As soon as that happened, it was all over the internet. It was all over the world.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Why wait until 2026, 2027 to talk about this when you can talk about it now?
Yeah, and why let...
Advertise now.
Why let everybody think that Kiss is just done and over, And
could you imagine Kiss fans? We'd be sweating right now.
Yeah.
With nothing going on at all? Quiet, dead silence? No.
Yeah, like I understand that a lot
That's
of
not
people
Kiss.
wanted closure, but in their minds it's not over, and there's so much more to come that in their minds they were like, why would we make this seem final when it's not? When we have all these big plans. We might be done touring, but that's not the end.
A lot of fans wanted a mushy, feel good.
I get it.
Parade, and I get it too, but why focus on the past when we're still looking towards the future? Most bands, when they do their last show, it's their last show ever. Everything's done.
Right, and they are actually done. But Kiss is not done.
And they are actually done. This is not done. I think they did that so that they could set us up for something even better.
Yes.
They did that so they could reset our expectations.
Yes.
That was on purpose.
100%.
What Kiss did at the last show, everything they did was intentional.
I agree.
Everybody says, "Oh, they blew it." No. Trust me. If you think for even 1 second Gene and Paul don't know what they're doing, then you don't know Gene and Paul.
And they probably knew you'd be pissed too.
They want you to be pissed. They don't care, because when you talk about this stuff, it gets out there, and we all know bad publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
And guess what? At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, life goes on. We cry, we moan, we share on Facebook how upset we are. Oh, Kiss, they blew it. Kiss 3 wasn't represented. And then we wake up the next day, we go to work, life goes on, the world keeps spinning, and we find ourselves listening to Kiss, buying stuff, or not. It doesn't matter. The world goes on. You know what I mean? Kiss fans have come and gone for 50 years.
Yeah.
They left when Peter and Ace left. They left when the makeup left, and then they left when Peter and Ace left again. They're leaving right now. But guess what? When more leave, or when people leave, more people come in.
Yeah.
That's the cycle of things.
Yep.
So, and that's what we're going to see here going forward. I know for a fact, I've only been around 25. I've been a Kiss fan 25 years. That's half of the first 50. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
The first 50 was great. I'm going to be here for the next 50. I'm going to see this through. I want to see what happens and where this goes, to the point where I want to be involved in this somehow. You know what I mean? Like, It will be my life's goal to somehow see this through and help be a part of this Kiss future and take this, to the moon, to the stars, to Mars and beyond, because I believe in it that much. Everything they're doing, I can see it.
Right.
Everything they're doing, I see the vision.
Yeah.
I see it now. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. And I'm so excited.
And that doc interview was so important in that way, because I feel like, and I was kind of reading the comments on that video earlier, and so many people get it now.
Yes!
Just by watching...
Good, I'm glad.
Just by watching that video.
I'm glad.
And I don't think, personally, I don't think he didn't say anything that was particularly surprising to me, but just kind of verbalizing a lot of the things that we've kind of thought on our own, and confirming those things.
It's so
and
awesome.
Spelling it out for the people that didn't understand where we're headed.
Yes.
A lot of people are getting it now.
I'm so glad that Mike did that, and Doc was willing to do that, because I feel like it did a lot of good.
And Mike did a great job interviewing him too, because he was not afraid to ask the hard questions, the questions that might be uncomfortable, things like that. And Doc did a great job answering as well. He didn't shy away from anything.
Mm-hmm.
And what you were saying about how a lot of fans wanted a mushy,
feel good,
talking about all the past members at the final shows. Doc also said, you're gonna get more of that in an upcoming documentary. That's something we haven't talked about yet. Is there's already at least 2, and it sounds like more over time, documentaries that he talked about. And that one was, and this one sounds like it's probably further out, but one was just a documentary about the first 50 years. But the other one that they're more actively working on is about the End of the Road tour.
Yes.
They are I can't believe that. They're working on a End of the Road documentary right now.
Wasn't that the reason the cameras were following them around? Remember that?
Yes,
Remember
it
that?
had to be. Yeah.
Yes.
That's so cool.
That I was excited for, because...
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Yes, me too, because when the A&E documentary came out, I was like, okay, I like this A&E documentary.
Yeah.
But they touched on nothing for the current lineup.
Right.
Which, and of course, in this one, they're not going to probably talk about the whole last 20 years.
Right.
Maybe they'll touch on it, but this documentary...
It's about the final
will
lineup.
Be about, this final lineup and these final 50 shows.
Yeah.
With the current lineup. We're going to get to see all kinds of really cool stuff. I hope that's a theatrical release.
I hope so too.
Because to just put that on some network doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know, they should have this at some special screening.
Yeah.
They should make this a really cool... This should be that could be the first cool thing that Pop House releases.
Yes.
Is this... You know, folks keep saying that Blu-ray and DVD is dead, and I don't think so at all. I think if you ask any Kiss fan, you know, where would you want to watch a documentary, it's going to be at home on my Blu-ray player.
Yeah, well, they want to own it physically.
Yes, I want to own it physically. I don't want some other company to own it and just license it to me. Because if I'm paying for it, I want to own it. I don't want to pay for a license for you to have one day, and then the next day I go and your app's gone or the video's gone. That's not the way I play.
Yeah, if you have to rely on an internet connection to watch something, that's a no for me.
No. Like, if the power goes out, I still want to be able to watch it. I want to watch it on my DVD player, on your laptop. On my laptop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
That's what I'm saying.
That's valid.
And of course, when you also get physical media, you also get other things with it too. You know, you get booklets and you get different things.
And they can charge more for that.
That can enhance the experience. Yes, so. Let Pop House do what Pop House, let them cook.
Yeah, let them cook.
Let them cook, because they're going to give us some good stuff. But yes, the documentary I'm excited about.
And Doc was saying that they, I'm pretty sure he literally said, they're in the editing room every day. It is actively being worked on right now.
He said we're watching footage every single day.
Obviously, the tour's been over for a while now, so, all the footage has been shot.
Gene and Paul aren't retired. Gene,
so true.
They're just not on stage.
Right.
Dude. Wait a minute. Okay, so Gene and Paul got a promotion. Gene and Paul went from working the front lines at McDonald's
Stop.
And on the fry station, right? On stage. To getting a nice, cushy office job.
Right.
After 50 years, they finally got a promotion.
Yes. I
Good
love that.
Good for you, Gene and Paul.
I really like that.
They finally get their nice, cushy manager office job with a huge pay raise. A nice, huge bonus.
Yeah.
So that's the way I'm going to think about it. Is
really
they
good.
get a nice...
I bet that's how they think about it, too.
I hope so.
I would feel so good if I were them.
I bet this is going to be more fun for them because obviously as they age, their bodies deteriorate and they want to not travel as much.
Yeah.
And being on stage is quite grueling, getting in the makeup and the outfits. I mean, we even saw Gene driving around a motorized scooter or a motorized cart because it was easier than walking all the way around the stadium.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Save your energy for the actual show.
Absolutely.
Makes perfect sense. So as they get older, their bodies are going to, wear down. So it's nice that they would be able to do something else that is less physically, involved, but still just as important or gratifying. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because also creatively, Kiss, whether you say it's their fault, whether you want to blame the band or blame the fans, I blame the fans, Kiss has been pretty creatively handcuffed in the last, I would say, 10, 15 years.
Yes.
Once the current lineup got comfortable with themselves and went back into the studio, started doing new music, a new album with a new stage and new outfits, and then they did it again with Monster, it became clear that most of the fans weren't into anything new.
Right.
They just wanted everything from the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Kiss stopped doing anything new and said, okay, we'll just be a legacy band then.
Yeah.
And we'll just do all the hits and we'll go out and, we'll be a legacy band.
Yeah.
And, I would have liked to have seen, because the way I read that Monster fanzine, Gene and Paul were excited to do another album.
Yeah.
They were musically happy, with Eric and Tommy and their current, the current era that they were in, and happy making music. But with sales and fan reception, it was like, well, okay, they're the bosses. We want to make them happy, so let's just go out and play shows.
Yeah.
And we'll just go
out. The songs they do want to hear.
We'll go out and we'll play shows and play the songs they want to hear until we can't anymore.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be that next step for them.
Yeah. And the cool thing is now that they have officially, ended touring and made this sale and everything, they've created so much over the last 50 years. There's so much music and other media that they can now have fun with, and now you know what I mean, all these box sets, all these cool releases that they can do. I mean, I just think about the Beatles. The Beatles were a band for 10 years in the 60s, and it's 2024, and there is still exciting, awesome Beatles releases happening all the time.
Yeah, you're right.
And the two surviving members are still heavily involved, even though they're not in charge. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I see it. Like, I mean, we got a new Beatles song. A few months ago
That's true.
with all 4 members on it. It was incredible. We got
nobody ever would have thought that was gonna ever happen.
We got the most insane, beautifully restored footage from the Let It Be era, Get Back. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many new things still happening, and so many creative things they're doing with all of that old work.
Good point.
And I just see Kiss doing that and more. Way more. You know what I mean? Like,
The music to me is going to be just as important going forward as it is now. I think fans are thinking that the band is somehow dead and that it's 100% a brand. Look, if these avatars are going to be, doing some show. I mean, we saw them at the Garden. They were playing instruments. They were playing drums, guitar. They were singing.
It's gonna be
God gave rock and roll to you.
It's a concert.
God gave what? Rock and roll. Music. The avatars, they're going to be playing music.
Yeah.
Why would they sell the catalog of what music they currently do own and sell the publishing if the company they're selling to isn't going to use it?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. The company wouldn't buy it because it'd be worthless. Yeah. Obviously, it is worth something, and obviously, it is useful for something because they bought it. Yeah. And they have it. And Universal still owns the majority of Kiss's catalog, too. So the two companies together, if they're smart, which, let's face it, Universal, with how much they own and what they are, they
know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
These companies, if they want, to have what they own retain value and be more valuable, they're going to do what, respectfully, what Disney did with Star Wars, even though I haven't really agreed with a lot of the things that Star Wars has done and been over the last decade or so. When when George sold Star Wars or Lucasfilm, whatever it was, to Disney, it was like $1 billion deal.
Yeah.
And now it's worth like over $4 billion.
Yeah.
Something like that. They've like doubled, tripled, quadrupled their investment.
Yeah, regardless of what you think about the actual content they've made, they have been doing something right.
They've been doing something. Yeah. And again, I think Pop House will do better with Kiss
Agreed.
than what Disney did with Star Wars. That was just, an analogy. But, obviously, having Gene and Paul involved in some way is going to matter. But it does beg the question what actual involvement Gene and Paul will have or could have. Because it seems to me that, like, even though Doc said they weren't full-on selling, it seems like they did full-on sell.
Yeah.
Maybe they full-on sold under the pretense that Gene and Paul would be involved in XYZ.
Well,
because some fans are saying that this number...
They sold it, but and I'm pretty sure he said this, they have shares in...
They still have shares, but how much is
true,
the thing?
Yeah.
Because they can still be overridden.
Right.
You know what I mean? But this is where things are going to get a little political, and we don't like politics and things like that. But it seems to me that, from what I understand, Pop House can do whatever, whenever, however, regardless of what Gene and Paul say. Even if Gene and Paul say, no, I don't like that, they're going to say, well, we paid $300 million, so we don't really care what you think. And that to me is true. But
the reality is we don't know. We
don't know
what the contract
it would be
says.
in Pop House's best interest to listen to Gene and Paul.
Yes.
They're alive, and they built this, so they know more.
Right. 100%.
Just plain and simple, they know more. But also, they still have leverage with the fans.
Yes.
The fans... Even the fans that are always complaining about Gene and Paul and thinking they know better than Gene and Paul, they're still loyal to Gene and Paul.
Yeah.
Because now that Gene and Paul are selling, even those fans are worried.
Right.
Gene and Paul, they don't know what they're doing. Tommy and Eric in the makeup, not playing all these songs, doing this. Wait, what? You're selling? No, don't do that. It's like, oh, really? Okay, I thought you guys wanted somebody else to take over.
Yeah, I thought you didn't want them in control.
So it's like, it's one of the things. The fans are loyal to Gene and Paul. And so Gene and Paul... rightfully so, could get on Twitter and say, hey, just so you guys know, we did not approve this.
Yeah.
Just a heads up. You know what I mean? Didn't, whenever the creators of The Last Airbender, when they exited the Netflix special, They made a statement saying we've left the project.
Right, we're not affiliated
we
anymore.
feel like, we're no longer in agreement.
No, we have creative differences.
And and
they wouldn't listen to us.
And guess what? A lot of the fans said, "Oh, red flag."
And guess what? It sucked.
It sucked. It sucked. But I think that, again, this I think will be a little bit different. I'm a lot more optimistic about this.
I'm very optimistic.
The fact that it has nothing to do with an American company outright gives me some hope.
Yeah.
I hope, that must be cool for the Swedish army, the Swedish Kiss army.
Yeah,
because now they're the home
of
Kiss.
Yeah, that's true. I love that.
Kiss is owned by a Swedish company. So now the Swedish Kiss army is, they're the ones that are in control. No, not really. But anyway, it's just fun.
Yeah. And I think you'll definitely be optimistic if you watch that video, because the way the doc was talking, it does sound like they really care and they really want Gene and Paul to be involved. And obviously only time will tell. But it does sound like, and like I said, I hate to relate it back to the Beatles, but that is what this reminds me of, because that Paul McCartney at 80 some years old is not going in and doing all the work to put out all this cool stuff necessarily, but he is still heavily involved with everything.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what I'm imagining this to be.
No, absolutely. I totally agree. And it seems like fans are under the impression that, not only are we not going to see any music releases, but we're not going to see anything cool at all.
Right.
Or it's going to be only catering to a certain era.
Yeah.
Of fan, and I don't think that's true.
I think we're going to see more than we have in a long time.
I think if you really look at what Kiss has done in the last 10 years, they have catered to every single Kiss fan. Because first of all, you have the off the soundboards. There's always the Kiss fans who want unreleased material, unreleased demos. They want the box sets. Mm-hmm. We've been getting that with the Creatures box set, the Destroyer box set, all the off the soundboards, the Mark St. John soundboard, the Tokyo soundboard. Like, those are your, for the diehards.
Right.
You know what I mean? The stuff that, again, Mark St. John soundboard never thought it would ever get released officially or existed, and here it is. That's amazing. So you're always going to have that stuff, but you're always going to have also your $10 shirt at Walmart.
Right. Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're always going to have your things that cater to your old school fan, your casual fan, your diehard. They need to get better at doing more 80s unmasked stuff. There's a reason why we're wearing unmasked t-shirts here today.
Yeah, we didn't mention it, but we both have awesome vintage shirts today, both Bruce Kulick lineups.
Yes,
Love
absolutely.
It.
Yes. But, yeah, what was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying.
I got distracted. They need to cater more to 80s stuff.
Well, yes. That's just, they should definitely cater more to the unmasked era of Kiss. But what I'm saying is we're going to see merchandise with the solo albums on it. We're going to see merchandise with the final lineup on it. We're going to see merchandise with all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? It's releases from all eras. It's not going to be just one thing for one person. It's going to be all things for all Kiss fans.
It's going to be all new. It's going to be fresh.
This is going to be crazy.
I feel like the first time we get a new merch drop or something like that is going to be really telling, because I am just curious to see even what the next round of, whatever anniversary album it is, if they decide to do, like when they do Lick It Up shirts or whatever. Mm. I'm curious to see what that next rollout will look like, because the last few have just been fine. They've been cool, whatever.
They were really cool, and then they got a little lazy at the end.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll get
I'm curious
again.
Because, I imagine, I don't know how much the original team is still involved, if any, or if this is all transferred over to Pop House.
Right.
Completely. Do we have a new graphic design team that's going to be making stuff?
I would hope that T42 is still involved.
Yeah. I'm just curious to see,
But it might not be. It's at Pop House's discretion.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Obviously, we won't know until we see, but I'm curious to see what the first thing is that comes out. Sorry, you want
to... Go ahead.
Well, one thing we haven't talked about yet, which we didn't really learn a whole lot of new information, but Doc did talk in that interview about the biopic, and it is still happening.
It just hasn't started filming yet.
Right. They haven't even cast it yet. But he did bring up that it's still happening and that the script is done and that the script is good.
He said the script is great.
And so obviously I'm not holding my breath because it's taken forever and it's still taking forever, and I'm in no rush. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it's curious to hear that it's still happening. They're just still working things out.
Yeah, he even said, he said the film industry is a horrible business.
Yeah.
He said the film is a horrible business. He said they've been trying for 7 years.
That's crazy.
To get this biopic done. Been trying for 7 years. He said, yeah, great script. He said the director, but I don't know his name, but he said the director is talented and is also a huge Kiss fan.
Yeah.
So if the director is a huge Kiss fan,
that's a good sign.
That gives me hope.
Yeah.
But I'm very saddened and disheartened to hear that it hasn't even been casted or filmed yet probably because of the writers' strike and all that.
That may have slowed it down, but even that's been over for a while now. I wonder, like, are they looking for a studio, like a big name studio to work with to distribute it? Or
I don't know, because the way it sounded before, everything was good to go.
Yeah.
But then the doc said, no, hopefully in August or September we're going to start filming.
Yeah.
But we're just got a great script, got a great director. We're just looking to get started. And I'm like, that's so disheartening, because that means that this won't even come out until 2025, 2026.
Yeah, I've kind of forgotten about it until he even brought it up, and I'm gonna try and forget about it again, because there's no point. There's gonna be so much other cool stuff happening that I
prefer the documentary.
Exactly.
As opposed to some live action retelling of Kiss.
Right. That's why I'm not holding my breath for it, and I'm not getting too excited for it. Or you know what I mean? Like, not putting expectations on it either way.
Right.
If it happens, it happens. If not, we're gonna get a lot of cool stuff. Like you said, I'd rather see real life Kiss anyway, and not as much a made up, fictionalized version of them. But yeah, it'll still be interesting to see. I'm curious about the script, because he said it's done and it's great, and I want to know, like, what does it span their whole? It's
just until Alive.
So it's early days?
It's from the beginning until they make their big break.
Interesting. Okay. When was that said?
What?
When was that information?
I don't know. That's just been what people have been saying for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I could be wrong, but we'll see.
I just can't wait to see, like, what moments in their career they choose to focus on. That'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting. But one thing Doc did say that I was pretty surprised to hear was that there's going to be a Kiss Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
In 2025.
Yeah.
He said that they couldn't get one secured for 2024, but he said that Kiss Cruise 2025 is happening for sure. The band members may or may not be on it.
Yeah, he didn't seem sure about that part.
Yeah, but they said ideally the cruises would continue beyond Gene and Paul.
Right.
Which I thought was kind of interesting, because Doc even said, he said the band's just background music anyway. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, you're kind of downselling Kiss. But then I kind of realized, I know people who have been on the cruise, and they all say the same thing. Yeah, Kiss is there, and yeah, they play a couple of shows, but who cares?
It's about the
I'm
fans.
there to see my friends.
Right.
I'm there to see the people from all around the world.
Yeah.
And I think Kiss
I think that's what
got wind of
said that. Yeah.
I think Kiss kind of, at a certain point, realized, the fans, we're cool and we're a reason for the gathering, but the fans are just here for themselves and each other.
Right, and
they don't need us.
And they've turned this into their own thing.
It's their own thing.
And it's special regardless of whether or not we're here.
Gene and Paul are more aware than the fans, I think, give them credit for.
Definitely.
And they're smarter than they think. Because, again, Gene and Paul, to the outside Kiss fan, Gene and Paul would be the kind of people that they would just be too egotistical and prideful to do anything outside of their own world. But they are very well aware, and they're able to step outside themselves and let themselves go and pass this on. To me, that is remarkable.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I always would have thought that Gene and Paul, they would want to keep it forever, and, because we don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Not Bill LaCoin, not Peter, not Ace, not Eric Carr, nobody but us. It's like, oh, shit. But no, they're for the fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want this to continue on beyond us.
Yeah.
It's almost like, get rid of it. Because, if we stay too long, we're going to ruin it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they're willing to pass it on because they want to see it grow. They know it can grow beyond them.
Yeah.
That, to me, is wild. Like, good for you, Gene and Paul, to be able to be in a position to say that, because not a lot of people could, I don't think. I think a lot of people would be a little bit too egotistical to come to that conclusion. But I'm very optimistic because I want to see what Kiss is going to do. And again, there's going to be more merch. There's going to be Kiss cruises. I don't think anything is going to change other than there will be no Ticketmaster website to go buy your next Kiss ticket from.
Yeah.
At least not until 2027.
Right, not for a minute.
You know what I mean? And that does suck, but that's life because we're all humans. And again, humans age. So I don't think there's anything profound there. It
No.
makes sense that Kiss would come to a point where they can't tour because
They would have to. They have to.
they're humans,
Yeah.
you know. So, but it also makes sense that they would want to continue it on, seeing as that Kiss is bigger than the 4 members. It's bigger than any member. You know, it's bigger than all of us. So I, for one, want to see Kiss continue. And I know a lot of folks are still maybe on the fence. I would hope that after this episode, maybe hearing our enthusiasm maybe can rub off on you. Or, again, go back and watch that interview that Mike Brunn did with Doc McGee. I think it was episode 269 on his channel. And then also in the comments, please, you know, leave us your thoughts and your concerns, because depending on what happens, the next episode could be just another episode, or depending on the comments, I may just do a follow-up, a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Kind of like I did with the avatars the first time around. I just sat here one-on-one and
riff
you know,
off of their comments and thoughts.
yeah, I was, you know, reading a bunch of comments and answering everybody's questions and concerns. We were just talking about it together. It was actually a lot of fun. So if you guys want, I can do that again. That was a lot of fun. And we'll just kind of talk through it together. But either way, I think this has been a pretty fun conversation. Just getting geared up, getting excited, and just talking about the fact that the brand has officially been sold, which sounds scary. And I'm sure for some fans it is very worrisome. But again, it'll be in Pop House's best interest to keep us happy and keep us fed. And if we're not, we're going to be right here telling you exactly, because that's what we do. Exactly. No, we don't hold back. We will speak our mind. But again, I'm very optimistic. I'm happy to hear that Gene and Paul found a partner that they're willing to trust with their baby.
Yeah.
That's big.
It is.
That's really big.
It is, and I've kind of made peace with it. And I think especially if you watch that interview with Doc, I think you might too, and I highly recommend it. I'm so happy for Gene and Paul, honestly.
I'm very happy for Gene and Paul.
Yeah, something you said the other day was, because people can debate on whether the amount that it was sold for was at $300 million. Is that right? Whether or not it was too much or too little.
The reported amount. I don't know the official amount.
Oh,
but the reported amount was between 2 and 3, or in excess of 2 and 3.
Right.
Who actually knows?
And people can debate whether that's a lot or not enough or whatever. But something you said the other day was that, you know, if I got $50 for my first gig with my band back like 50 years ago, and then sold it 50 years later for $300 million, I think I'd be pretty happy.
That's a pretty big percentage of an increase.
Yeah.
That's just pretty dang good.
Yeah.
And by the way, that sale was mostly for just the trademark, the brand, the IP, the makeup, and all that, because Kiss sold the majority of their catalog back in '89, before the reunion, before they knew that Kiss was going to come back in a very, very big way.
Yeah.
They cashed in '89 and sold the majority of their category. So Kiss only owned a small portion of their category. Maybe Sonic Boom, Monster, and the soundboards. That might have been really it.
Yeah.
So this deal wasn't for all the music and all of the brand.
Right.
It was largely for just the brand.
That's a really good point. I don't think I
and most
knew
fans,
that.
again, there's a lot of things people aren't clear on.
Yeah.
You know, because folks, less than $500 million for the entire thing? No.
No, it's not for the whole
Kiss
discography.
sold that off a long time ago. This is for the publishing. This is for the IP.
Yeah, interesting.
And all that. So that's still a pretty big deal.
That is.
And again, that number could be totally arbitrary.
Right.
You know, we don't actually know. But I think Kiss will be okay without Gene and Paul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, look at WWE. Look at WrestleMania. WrestleMania was the first WrestleMania without Andy McMahon involved ever. And was it not one of the best WrestleManias we've had in a long time?
It was.
And guess what fans said? Oh man, the WWE with no Vince, not gonna happen. Can't happen. Will never happen. Guess what? It's arguably better.
I would say it's inarguably better.
It's inarguably better for sure. No, but seriously, because it's as long as there are people behind the scenes who care and are willing to nurture this and to take this to the next level, then it will continue on.
Yeah.
And let the record show that you have Triple H, who's basically running WWE, and then you have HBK, who is number 2 in terms of talent relations.
Yeah.
The WWE is being run by DX right now.
I love them.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? The two degenerate, the ones that were causing the most chaos during the Attitude Era, the ones that were raising the most hell,
are in charge and are doing it right. Sorry to go on a wrestling tantrum. We just
I don't think they care. I think they're okay with it. But to me, it just blows...
Not tantrum.
Tangent, yeah, a tangent. It blows my mind that that DX is pretty much running the WWE right now.
That makes me so happy. No wonder WrestleMania was so good.
That is so
I haven't cared about
funny.
current WWE in so long.
I have not cared about the current product in so long.
No,
and
it hasn't been good.
Both those main event matches were knockouts, dude.
Yeah.
Those were great. So, I don't know. I mean, if that's any sign, I'm excited to see.
Things can live on and thrive past their
founder,
origins.
Owner. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And after the creator has left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, as long as there is somebody running it that cares.
Yes.
And I'm optimistic that that's what Pop House will be. I'm not going to say for sure because we don't know. We don't know until it happens. But Doc and Gene and Paul are making me feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, and we could be back here episode 103, 104. Hey, by the way, everything sucks. We hate it.
That's why we're saying we don't know. We're just optimistic.
Yeah, exactly. No, we could be back here going, okay, everything sucks. Kiss is over. It's done.
Yeah.
Everybody live on with, whatever you're doing. But no, it's like, okay, even if you're not investing in the Pop House thing, I mean, collectors can still collect what's already out there. Just because Kiss the Touring Act is done doesn't mean that you just have, all of your collection complete or that you're looking for that one item or, you're not listening to music. Things can still... You can still be a Kiss fan even if you're not investing in the Pop House stuff.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like, that's totally okay. And we're not going to be talking about Pop House every single episode. We're only going to talk about what we want to talk about on this show. That's what we always do. So,
but the new stuff does not erase the old stuff.
It cannot.
This next 50 years does not do anything to the first 50
If
years.
anything...
All of that is still yours.
If anything, the next 50 needs to build off of the first 50.
Absolutely.
Because you have an amazing foundation.
Yeah.
Build off that.
Yep. It sounds like that's the goal. And that's why I'm looking forward to see what happens.
When Doc said we need partners and connections to take this and elevate it to the next level, that's when I said, okay, here we go. Let's do this. Because it's always been that way.
Yeah.
There's always been different entities involved. Live Nation, Epic Rights, Winterland, all these different companies that have had their hand in helping Kiss in some way, merchandise with licensing and, music or whatever it is. That's just the nature of things. And of course, we don't know everything too. There's probably so much that's up in the air that we don't even know about that we're going to have to just wait and see as it unfolds. But either way, this has been a lot of fun just talking about this. I do want to, as we're wrapping up and closing, do you have any other thoughts on this as we're wrapping up? I feel like there's probably as soon as we get done filming, I'm going to go,
we're going to keep talking.
Should have mentioned that. I'm going to say, I forgot to mention that. I'm going to go in my comments and then be like, oh, by the way, guys, I wanted to say this. I'm going to, in the middle of the episode, get back on my camera and, film and say, oh, by the way, no, but it's a big topic. There's a lot of thoughts swirling.
Yeah,
so.
There will be more to discuss in the future, but for now, I think we've touched on a lot, and I'm really excited to hear your guys' thoughts and kind of what you have gathered from this sale and what you've gathered from the Doc McGee and Mike Brunn interview. Check that out if you haven't, and let us know what you think.
Absolutely. And so, speaking of merchandise and new Kiss items, let's get into some recent purchases. So this has actually been here for about a week or more. But I haven't been able to show it because we haven't been able to film in this way. But now we did actually already get a sneak peek at this, but I wanted to show this for you guys. So we had some family down and opened this up for them because one of them didn't realize either one hadn't seen the collection in a while, one had never seen it before.
Yeah.
And so we were able to, show the Kiss collection, and we opened something up for them. So we're going to go ahead and show it to you. And that is the new Glamlite Kiss makeup.
Yes, this stuff is so cool.
So I've never heard of not that I wear makeup or use makeup, but I've never heard of Glamlite. But Glamlite did a really cool Kiss-themed line of makeup. And I was like, oh, I'm 100% going to be...
so excited.
I was so excited. I was like, I cannot wait to buy Kiss makeup. Mainly because this was done right.
Yeah.
This was done super well.
It is so well designed.
So I'm going to show this first because this is almost the coolest thing I got. This is the Kiss lenticular makeup bag. that Glamlite did, and
I think
this
it's like up and down.
is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And you know what? I do want it out.
I think you need to open it.
I want it out of the package.
Wow.
So how awesome
is
that?
So
it actually
cool.
says 2023
Oh.
on the bottom. I was hoping it would say 2024 because it came out in 2024.
It must have been
but this must have been a late.
Look at the sides, how it has the Kiss logo embossed.
That's sweet. I don't know if you can see it, guys, but I did not see this. So on the sides, there's a little bit of a raised texture. I don't know if it's like real leather, but it's a leathery feel, and it has the embossed Kiss logo all over the side there. So good eye, babe. I did not notice that.
That's neat.
Only thing cooler would be if the zipper itself was Kiss.
Yes.
But either way, very sweet. Kiss lenticular makeup bag with the Destroyer logo. I do want to open it up and see what's inside because I don't know if there's anything like fancy inside or if it's just a normal bag.
Is there a strap?
Oh,
there's a strap.
There is a strap, first of all, but look on the inside.
Yeah, there's like all the icons.
It's all the icons. Again, had no idea. So on the inside, you can see it has all the icons lining the inside there.
You could honestly use this it doesn't have to be a makeup bag. Like with this long strap on, this is just like a really cool like purse or messenger bag kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Like this could hold a lot of stuff. And with the crossbody strap, that's cool.
It's pretty sweet.
No, that is like really nice quality.
I have a Kiss messenger bag actually.
There's another pocket on the inside. Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really, really well done. I love it.
So that's the makeup bag. Now this is what I needed.
Lay it up here?
Yeah, that's what I needed to push this over the threshold for free shipping. So I was able to get free shipping on this because that cost. How much was that? Do you remember? That was only like $20-$30.
I would say 25 to 30, something like that. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
It's not terrible
for how nice it is too.
Originally, though, I wasn't going to get it, but when I realized I can get free shipping, I was like, more Kiss stuff, might as well. But anyway, so let's get into the actual makeup portion of the items here. So we have here, I think this is just a little promo graphic here that I'm going to keep forever because anything Kiss promo is really cool. So you can see on the back, yes, women there with like half the Kiss makeup on. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Kiss Glamlite says, created with the fierce spirit of the Kiss Army in mind, this collection is more than makeup. It's a tribute to the iconic band that's rocked our world. Celebrating 50 years of Kiss as rock and roll legends. Get ready to paint it out loud and proud.
Nice.
So pretty cool little promo graphic there. And then here we have the Lick It Up lip kit. So it looks like we have a lip pen and some lipstick there.
Yep.
Really cool. I'm going to show it to you guys there. The packaging is really great. I was kind of, not like worried, but I was wondering what they were going to do with the packaging because everybody can agree that the packaging for a collector is almost as important as the item itself.
Yeah.
But both are knockouts. The items look really cool.
Yeah.
I wish I had another one to open so that you could actually use it and test it and try it out. But still really cool. Kiss logo on the side there. You have a metallic reflective icon
like holographic.
on the side there. That's really cool. But yeah, no, I love the graphic with the lips. Super cool.
Love it.
I love that. And we have here the Platform Lash Ultimate Height Mascara Primer Duo. I have no idea the words I'm saying, but they sound super cool.
For your eyelashes.
It's for my eyelashes. There we go. My lashes are going to be banging after this. No, but so here we go. More awesome packaging there. Raised Kiss logo up top. We have the Love Gun image on the back. That's really cool. Is there anything on the back here? Nope. Doesn't matter. Still really cool. All the ingredients in the back. But no, I love the actual product design itself.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. I mean, most makeup...
It's very attention to detail. Every
detailed.
little piece of this collection is really well thought out, really well done.
I wonder if this is being sold in stores, and if not, it should be, because this end cap would look dynamite.
It would, yeah.
Oh, I would steal that end cap.
I don't know where they sell Glamlite.
It's online only.
Honestly it is?
Maybe.
Okay.
I've only saw it online only. But
I had never heard of this brand before either.
I've never heard of them either.
I mean... In 2024, there's a lot of makeup brands now, so it's hard to keep track.
A lot of makeup. And as she's looking that up, I will say this. There was a whole palette that they did of like 30 different shades or whatever, and each one had a cool Kiss-related graphic on it, on the actual palette itself. So obviously, as you use the makeup, it would wear, but if you're just going to keep it and have it, it would look super cool. Any insight, any information?
I went to the part of their website that says store locator, but there's nothing there, so...
So it very well could be a new company, and they're
be.
still looking to get in stores. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. And if so, that's really cool.
That is really cool. I think I heard that they do other themed palettes too. That they have other themed makeup lines, and that Kiss is just like the latest and greatest in their line. But the last thing I bought for this collection was the Kiss Black and White stage makeup base, and I'm pretty sure this is literally just black and white makeup.
Yeah, it is.
For you to put on your face.
Like, to do the Kiss makeup.
All of this stuff is like regular...
Yeah, just beauty.
Going out in public makeup.
Yeah,
public
that's what I
beauty
like.
Makeup.
That's what I like about that little promo card that you have is the girls have half Kiss makeup, which you can do with these products, but then they have half. But then they have half just cool, really well done professional makeup. They have lipstick. They have cool eyeshadow from the palette. They have.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like these winged eyeliner. All using these products, you know what I mean? So it's cool that it's showing both sides.
Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, because look at this cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
And all their eyeshadow. Whoa.
Yeah, the eyeshadow. Again, the palette they had is all those colors come with that big palette.
But
I may have to go back and buy some more.
The girl wearing the Star Child makeup is wearing purple eyeshadow.
Yeah.
And blue. I guess it's kind of reddish and green. So they all have. Like, themed to that Kiss member, whether it's the side that has the makeup or the side that has traditional makeup.
That's so cool.
I really like that.
I may have to get more of this, and we may just have to use it.
Yeah.
Or may have you use it and...
Yeah, maybe we could do...
I would love to
We could do a makeup tutorial on Kiss Army things for the first time.
That's the kind of content I want to make. When Jeff and I did the cocktail video, the Kiss cocktail video...
I love that video.
When we did the Halloween video,
I'm
like, that's the kind of stuff I want to make on Kiss Army things.
And I'm definitely not a pro at Kiss makeup, but I think I did okay.
You
guys can judge by rewatching our Halloween video from this last year.
She did a great job.
I did my best.
But so here's the black and white stage makeup. That's cool. So they have the paint makeup for like Halloween or for face painting, and then they have the actual beauty makeup stuff. So that's really cool. This was not everything they had. I could not buy everything that they had. They had
the palette is really cool because the palette has all these beautiful different colors, and I think they're all named. Each shade is named something different that's like Kiss themed.
Right.
So that's cool too.
Super cool.
Very well done collaboration.
So that's the thing I wanted to show. That's like the newest part of my Kiss collection. But you guys know that over the last handful of episodes, I've been doing something called Kiss Merch of the Year.
Yes.
Where I show something that coincides with the same year as our episode number. This is episode 92. That means I need to show you guys something from the Revenge lineup. It's been here the whole time. This shirt right here. I actually had to have Daphne confirm with me because this shirt is so faded.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to read
at the
year,
bottom.
But I'm 90% sure. I'm 92% sure that it says 92.
Good one. Yeah, so I can see the Winterland logo here. We're talking about Winterland a minute ago, one of those companies. But yeah, no, I do believe it says 92. So here you are, 92.
Nice.
This is what I wanted to show. That I already had, but I also want to show a bonus item that I just got. Here's one more new item that also just so happens to come from 92 as well.
Do I know about this?
No. Oh. Also the Revenge era. So check this out. This is a Kiss fan appreciation offer flyer.
What?
From 92.
Cool.
And it says exclusive Kiss fan appreciation offer. Get $2 off the regular price of Kiss Revenge with this coupon at any Musicland /Sam Goody store, offer good through July 30th.
92,
so
wow.
It says, be the first to own Revenge. Revenge is 12 of the hardest rocking tracks from Kiss in years, featuring Unholy. And so basically, I'm not sure how you got this. Maybe if you... there was something that fans said that there was like a Kiss meet and greet almost, like an in-store appearance that Kiss made.
Okay.
That you could either get this coupon or turn the coupon in. I could be mixing things up. But if that's this is super cool.
That's awesome.
Either way, if you got this flyer, you could use it as a coupon. I think
cool.
At the bottom here, it's perforated.
Okay.
So you could rip this off,
tear it off,
keep this, but then you would hand this in.
the coupon. Cool.
And get $2 off of Revenge, which $2 and nowadays doesn't sound like that much, but I'm sure $2 back then probably felt like $5.
Yeah.
So $5 off your the new Kiss album is pretty awesome. So. I saw this, only $5, had to buy it. I think it's super cool.
Yeah, no, it's very cool.
I'm going to keep this, but it actually right there does say 92 polygram. So
even if the shirt isn't 92, that is.
This is definitely from 92. But no, I just thought it'd be really cool to kind of keep this trend going. Next time, 93,
super fun.
94. We'll see how long I continue it on. But for now, I'm just having fun. Hopefully you guys are having fun. Hopefully you're still here watching at the end. I hope it wasn't a boring episode. I hope we didn't turn anybody off talking about Pop House, the avatars, and oh my gosh, they like it. They're actually into it. Unsubscribe. No, hopefully you guys are still here. Thank you guys so much for watching our show. We really, really do appreciate it. We love sitting here and talking about Kiss and just sharing our thoughts with you guys. I mean, we would be doing this anyway, but it's so fun to invite you guys into our home, around our table, and talking Kiss with you guys. It's so much fun. So love it or hate it. We want to know what you guys think about Pop House. Please leave us your comments, your thoughts, your concerns. And then if I feel like it's enough of a conversation, I will do another episode after this, just one-on-one, talking about it in depth. And that could be really fun. I have some more Kiss merch on the way to show next time. So
your birthday is also coming up. I'm just throwing that out there.
For sure. Yeah, you'll have to stay tuned for that. So anyway, be sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That's how you guys can keep up with us as well as get more Kiss content. We're thinking about doing a Patreon.
Yes, let us know what your thoughts are on that. And
would you guys be interested in the Kiss Army Things Patreon? It seems like there are a handful of you guys that are really into this, and you guys like this podcast, you like this show, you like this channel. I have other ideas that I want to do that I just sometimes can't get to, but maybe if I had more time and more incentive, it would be easier to get to. Maybe it would be fun for you guys. So just think about it, look into it, see what you guys think, and if so, let me know in the comments what you guys think and what you would want to see, and maybe in the future that'll be something we do. But we just want to bring the best Kiss content we can bring. I want Kiss fans to feel the same way I do after listening to a Kiss album when you watch this show. You know what I mean? I want you guys to feel good. I want you to feel great. I don't want you guys feeling sad and like I drained you. Like we drained.
No, that's not what the show's about.
I want to deposit into you guys. Yes. I don't want to withdraw from you. You know what I mean? So hope you guys are doing well. Have a great day. Have a great week. Hope you're doing well in life. And if not, this is our time to just be cool, be chill, and talk Kiss. So be sure to like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then we will see you guys next time, episode 93 on the Kiss Army Things podcast. Until then, my name is Xander.
My name is Daphne.
Peace out.